in Fallout 76, but it's changed quite a bit since Fallout 4. There's some new limitations on what can be built, as in Fallout 76 your camp is just your base of operations, a place you can return to when you want to sleep, craft, or just take a break from slaying Scorched. Extravagant mansions aren't required now, nor are they even possible, but nonetheless, here's how to make the most out of your camp with our advanced tips for camp building. Keep an eye on your budget. Since Fallout 76's multiplayer, Bethesda have implemented a couple of ways to limit the number of objects and items on each server. One of these is the camp budget, which is simply a bar that's visible when you're in building mode. The more objects you place, the further your budget will fill until you're no longer able to put anything else down. However, the game doesn't tell you which objects and building pieces cost more to your budget or how many more you can place till it fills up, so you'll just have to keep an eye on it and work out when you're going to hit the limit. But just be warned, turrets take up a lot of space, so be selective with how many you build. Build smarter, not harder. Due to the often infuriatingly small budget, building a moderately sized house with all of your workbenches, generators and defences isn't really possible. This is why, rather than building bigger and wider, you need to build smarter. Condense everything you build and place things as close together as possible so there's no unused space in your humble abode. Bungalows are your best bet. On a similar note, consider not bothering with any staircases. Or, if you do, keep everything you'll be frequently using on one floor and anything unimportant either upstairs or downstairs. You can only traipse up your stairs and down again to go from your weapon workbench to your stash to your armour workbench so many times. Keep everything important near each other so you can just swivel round or take a couple of steps to the side to keep your thought process going. Keep your turrets on high ground. Just like Anakin and Obi-Wan's fateful fight in Star Wars, having the high ground is key for your automated defences in Fallout 76. If they're not placed high up, they'll swiftly get swarmed when you're attacked and you'll spend countless resources repairing your turrets after every mini-battle. Instead, place your turrets on the roof of your home and let them go to town on all hostiles from a distance. Trust us, we learned this the hard way. Build against a wall when you can. If you're building on mountainous terrain or there's just some high ground near you that enemies wouldn't be able to get on top of, like a fence, build against it. This way you don't need to spend resources on making the rear of your base look pretty because no one is going to see it anyway. It also means that you have one less direction to be wary of if there are enemies nearby, and you can focus all of your turrets on the more open areas. Just make sure enemies can't get onto the high ground, otherwise they'll jump onto your roof and the previous point about never having to repair your turrets becomes moot. Pick the right perks for camp building. If you're putting effort into making your camp an attractive place to live, you're going to want the right perk cards. Home defense is a must. It enables the ability to build heavy machine gun turrets which are considerably more powerful than the basic ones, then upgrading it further will unlock missile and shotgun turrets. The Contractor perk card makes things you build in your camp cost 25% less with each increment, while Happy Camper and Homebody are both passive bonuses. The former makes hunger and thirst increase more slowly while you're in your camp, while Homebody does the same but heals your health at the same time. Workshops provide constant resources. You may wonder what the point is of public workshops dotted around the map, because they can be claimed by other players and owning one is only temporary. They're not worth building anything extreme on, but if you find yourself struggling for resources, workshops offer various places to harvest specific crafting components. All you need to do is kill all the enemies around, then pay 25 caps to claim it. You can then build various machines to harvest and mine the specific pockets of stuff you'll find there. Make sure you fast travel back whenever your camp is under attack though, and clear out all the hostiles nearby. The White Spring has free guards. If you want an almost completely safe place to live, head to the White Spring. You'll be able to build on the golf course that surrounds the enormous resort, and it has a number of benefits. Firstly, the land is very flat, so you don't have to worry about unforgiving terrain when you're building, and it's open, so you can see any enemies that might have infiltrated the grounds. Most importantly, at certain spots around the perimeter, the White Spring robots patrol for enemies. Our favourite place is on the western side, north of a small stone bridge. There's almost always a sentry bot and a Sultron here guarding a hole in the wall, and they'll help fight off any enemies that get too close. Pick where you build carefully. If you're not keen on setting up shop by the White Spring, you may be wondering where else are the best places to reside. There's not really a definitive answer because it all depends on what you're looking for. Just started out and haven't obtained many plans yet? Find somewhere in the forest region to build a small starter shelter, ideally near a river so you can obtain dirty water and boil it. If you fast travel across the map frequently to and from different quest objectives, pick somewhere around the centre because fast travelling to your camp is completely free, so you'll save on caps if you go via your camp each time. Or, if you're a high level and are able to take on strong enemies consistently, head to the Maya or Cranberry Bog regions. There, you'll find the toughest enemies, so you'll be able to farm them frequently for rare and valuable resources. Focus on the absolute necessities. If you're someone who really likes to make a house a home, hold off from the wall and floor decor for a while. Get the foundations of your base built, then make sure you build one of every single workbench. Weapon, armour, chemistry, cooking and tinkers. Find room for them all along with your bed and your stash box, and then worry about making it look nice inside. There's no point in having a nice bearskin rug by the entrance and a Vault Boy statue outside to greet other travellers if you don't have the bare necessities. Make sure you find the plans for the power armour station. While you'll likely find plans to all of the other workbenches and crafting stations while exploring Appalachia, the one you may struggle with is the power armour station. This is a key piece of kit so you're able to craft more power armour without having to travel around trying to find some across the world. To get it, you need to go to Garahan Mining HQ in the southeast corner of the ash heap. Explore the place and you'll eventually be required to craft the excavator power armour, which requires a lot of black titanium. When you create the full set and scan the power armour in the building, you'll be rewarded with a power armour station plan. This is the only guaranteed way to get it, and it'll complete your camp. Tag resources for search. When you go to build or craft something, if you're missing the required components, you'll have the option to tag it for search. This basically means that when you're searching containers or picking up junk, if it contains the component you've tagged, it will have a magnifying glass icon next to it. This way you can easily filter all the junk you come across to find only the bits you need. From the very start, you'll want to keep an eye out for things containing ultracite and black titanium because they're two of the rarest materials in the game, along with adhesive, ballistic fibre, fibre optics and crystal because you may well frequently struggle to find them. Water purifiers are a constant source of purified water. This may seem obvious, but there's plenty of camps we've seen near water without any water purifiers set up. Fallout 76 is a softcore survival game, so you'll need to eat and drink to satiate your character. While you'll find purified water from looting, you burn through it pretty quickly. Build your camp near water and set up a water purifier, ideally an industrial one, for a constant source of purified water. This way you don't need to use boiled or dirty water and risk becoming irradiated. Don't forget to blueprint your camp. Blueprinting essentially saves your entire camp as one object, so all you need to do when you want to move your camp around is navigate to your saved blueprints, then plonk it back down in a suitable location. That saves you the bother of having to rebuild it all, but just make sure you have enough resources in your inventory to build it from scratch again. It'll just need a reduced amount of the usual requirements, and make sure that it doesn't intersect with any terrain. So those are our advanced camp building techniques. Let us know if you've got any other tips in the comments below. Click the box on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle for more news, reviews, previews and features right here on GamesRadar.